Hey everybody, it's Atheist for the Cause here, and I wanted to do a quick opinion piece about Thunderfoot and his comments about the election. Now, he's basically just being a complete idiot, and it's actually worse than that, I think. But let's look at this tweet. Thunderfoot doesn't understand politics, quote unquote. Brexit Trump 1 year later. Trump en route to impeachment. PM who triggered Brexit loses election. And as you can see here, I said it's not going to happen. En route to impeachment, responding, it's not going to happen. It's nice when you imply you were right based on what hasn't happened yet. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's saying, I was right. Trump was gonna get that Trump's gonna get impeached, and we're en route. It hasn't happened yet, but I told you so. And then, and this whole time, he's giving tweets about predictions. And then here he said PM who triggered Brexit loses election. First of all, May didn't trigger the election. Cameron did, and May won. And I keep putting hashtag science because he refers to science in like so many of his tweets and talks about predictions and all of that crap, and it's he's making a mockery of himself. So let's look at for Thunderfoot, who is supposed to be this really intelligent guy. And this is why I think he's actually being a fraud, because he knows what he's doing. And, when you become a fraud, that's a disgrace. Thunderfoot has become an absolute fucking disgrace. Look at this. Conservative. They lost 32 seats, but they still have the majority. Conservative, 317. Labor, 261. You're a fraud, Thunderfoot. You're a fucking fraud, and you should be disgraced. You should feel disgraced. I'm just absolutely disgusted by your actions. David Cameron, I was right to hold Brexit referendum. Former Prime Minister says issue of EU membership had been positioning British politics for years, but says cooperation on security should continue. As Britain formally fired the starting gun on its exit from the European Union, David Cameron has defended his decision to call for a referendum that ended in the vote to leave. And why was he having to defend himself and to resign? Because he never wanted the Brexit to succeed. He called the referendum so that it would fail. That's what that was all about. So you go back to this tweet right here, and he's saying the PM who triggered Brexit loses election. So Cameron triggered it not to force Brexit through, but to hope it would fail, to kill it. And you know this, Thunderfoot. And now you're trying to pretend like, I don't know, some bullshit. Like that May triggered this and then lost. And it says Theresa May wants you to stay in the EU. Has she blown her chances of ever being Tory leader? So May wasn't even a fucking Brexiter. She was a fucking Remainer. And Thunderfoot, here's why I say you're a fraud. Because first of all, you're smart enough to know better. Second of all, you in your own tweets from earlier in the day expressed that you do know something about Brexit, and that you know what you're saying later in the day is complete bullshit. Cameron only offered Brexit vote to get a majority in last election. He never seriously thought it would win. Now cons may lose majority. So he knew that the Brexit vote was issued by Cameron. You go back up from, 8 hours later, and he's saying PM who triggered Brexit loses election. David Cameron wasn't even in the fucking election. Theresa May was, the Remainer. And she later changed her position after Cameron resigned because she wanted the power of being prime minister, and that's how she got to be the leader. And you say now conservatives may lose majority. Yeah, they lost the majority, but Theresa May still won the election. So everything you're saying, it's not only wrong, you're being dishonest, just like you were with Sargon. You're a literal fraud, and you just keep committing your fraudulent activities over and over and over, and you falsely edit videos, and then you double down on that editing, and then you triple down on it, and then you yell at everybody who gets mad at you for being a fucking fraud. Well, maybe you should take a look in the mirror, Thunderfoot.